Good morning, Your Royal Majesty, ma'am.
Jed, don't you go to jinxing me. I ain't queen yet.
Granny, you got this election in your pocket. Miss Drysdale ain't even putting up a scrap.
And that's what's got me wondering what she's up to. Do you reckon that she's gonna pull out of the race?
That ain't likely. Miss Drysdale sets a great store by being a society leader of Beverly Hills. You know she ain't gonna turn down a chance to be Possum Queen.
It's true. But then why is she laying back?
In politics, you never know.
Jed, do you think she's planning to come out at the last minute with a smear campaign?
Ain't nothing she can dig up against you. Is there?
Jed, the road of life is long and rocky. And when you've walked as many miles as I have, you're likely to stumble a time or two.
Well, I reckon your slate's as clean as any.
Daddy, Jethro and me's got some more election posters ready for you.
Well, give them to my campaign manager here. I can't stand it no longer. I gotta peek through the hedge and see what Miss Drysdale's up to.
She ain't up to nothing. We could have told her that.
Well, let me see the posters. Maybe we can stir up something. Granny the Possum's Choice. Vote the Granny ticket. Granny will cut taxes. Granny will cut taxes?
Yes, sir. That's a real popular campaign promise. Everybody from mayor to president makes that one.
Yeah, but Granny ain't... Well, I reckon she can keep it about as good as the others have.
You got some more, too, Paul. Where do you want them?
I want them where Mrs. Drysdale is sure to see them. Wednesday is Possum Day, and there still ain't no sign of her campaign.
Ain't no sign of Possum Day, neither.
What do you mean?
Well, Ellie and me's been all over Beverly Hills. It don't look like they's getting ready for no festival.
No parade or nothing. We'd ought to gone back home like we started to.
Yeah, instead of letting Mr. Drysdale talk us out of it.
Yeah, we could have...
Now, young'uns. Mr. Drysdale promised us a bigger do than the one back home. And he is a man of his word.
Chief, why did you lie to them?
I did not lie to them.
But you promised them that Beverly Hills would put on a fabulous possum festival.
No, I did not. I promised them you would put it on. Now, it's up to you to see that I keep my word.
But there's nothing I can do without the official approval of the city.
I told you how to get that. Threaten them. Tell the mayor and the council that unless they cooperate, I'll move my bank and the Clampetts out of Beverly Hills.
I did.
I'll bet that got some action.
Yes, they stood and applauded for 5 minutes.
Okay, that's their last chance. We're taking your possum festival to another city.
You've already been turned down by Pasadena, Santa Ana, Azusa, Cucamonga.
All right.
Chief, I implore you, before it's too late, let's put the Clampetts on a plane for home.
Home.
It's the only place in the civilized world where Possum Day is celebrated.
Well, I'm going to change that. There must be plenty of communities around here that would jump at that opportunity. Now, let's see. Here's one right on the coast. Possum Beach.
That's Pismo Beach.
So it is. Well, maybe they'll change it. Granny'd like that.
And that's another thing. Granny thinks she's running for Possum Queen against your wife.
So?
So your wife doesn't even know about it. And Granny keeps wondering when she's going to start her campaign.
She's going to start her campaign this morning.
She is?
Yes. She doesn't know it, but she is.
Milburn, I still don't understand. Why this sudden impulse to take me driving in the middle of the morning?
Because I've been neglecting you, Margaret. Besides, when a man has a beautiful wife, he likes to show her out.
Too bad it's taken you 20 years to get around to it.
Isn't my wife radiant this morning?
Indeed, she is.
Happy, dear?
Well, I suppose so. But aren't you neglecting things at your precious bank?
Not at all. I can dictate as we're driving. Let's swing by the Clampett place.
Oh, Milburn, whatever for?
I want to show those peasants what real class looks like.
How long are we supposed to wait out here?
All Mr. Drysdale said was to go out front. There was something coming by we ought to see.
Well, he better hurry.
Yonder comes the limousine.
What's that sign on the front?
It says vote for Maggie.
She's come out in the open at last.
There's a big one on the side. She's campaigning for real now.
Good. I don't want no shoe-in. Down with Granny. Why you?
Disgusting exhibition.
What's that, dear?
Granny is running behind.
She probably thinks she can beat you to the corner.
Beat me? In a limousine? Huh, how utterly absurd.
Better circle the block. She'll follow us clear into town.
That little woman is a disgrace to Beverly Hills. She and her entire family should be run out of town.
Did you notice that sign on the front of the mansion?
Granny for Possum Queen? What a revolting idea.
Keep talking, dear.
Why doesn't that stupid woman give up?
Hey, what's all the commotion out here, pal?
Miss Drysdale has finally come out swinging. Them signs you put up done the trick.
We ain't put 'em up yet.
Well, then don't. Because this campaign already stands to be a rip-snorting, backbiting, name-calling, mud-slinging.
Hey, look at yonder.
Granny's picked up speed.
You to smear me, you fat old broke. Come back here and face me, you coward.
Campaign sure is underway, all right.
Yeah, I ain't never seen Granny look so mad.
You're wrong, Ellie. You never seen her so happy.
Come back here and face me, you coward.
Right in here, Jethro. Easy now.
Hey, she is really bushed.
She was holding her own the first 2 or 3 miles.
I think she'd have caught the car if she hadn't a trip.
Sure, I reckon you best tote her right on up to her room.
Ah, you don't. I got a campaign to run.
Really, I think you've done enough running for a while. I declare you look like the last prune in the box.
I'll be all right. Get me out of this thing. All right. I'm all right. And now that Miss Drysdale has showed her hand, we got to swing into action. Ellie, you go and put on a pretty dress and commence passing my vote getters around house to house.
Yes'm, Granny.
Vote getters?
Yes, Jed, it's a gift package. A little sample of my lye soap, some candied crawdads, a couple of molasses cookies, and for them voters that's on the fence, a little snort of my friendly persuader.
That ought to knock him off the fence.
I never could afford a campaign like this when I was running for queen back home.
I know.
Politics is a rich man's game.
True.
Jethro, you get busy and start making me some signs mean-mouthing Miss Drysdale.
Well, how far you want to go, Granny?
Call her anything you can think of. Remember what William Jennings Bryan said? Fight hard, but fight clean.
Well, you ain't fighting clean, Granny.
Of course I ain't. William Jennings Bryan was a loser.
Uncle Jed, can't Granny get arrested if she goes to calling Miss Drysdale names?
No, boy. That's the beauty of politics. You can do it legal and get cheered in the bargain.
Granny is running behind.
Well, she probably thinks she can beat you to the corner.
Beat me? In a limousine? How utterly absurd.
Better circle the block. She'll follow us clear into town.
That little woman is a disgrace to Beverly Hills. She and her entire family should be run out of town.
I told you I'd get Margaret's campaign going. Call the radio station and buy some time.
For this?
Well, with a little editing and the proper questions, this can make a very explosive interview. It might even get Margaret elected Possum Queen.
You are a victim of self-hypnosis. There is not going to be a Possum Queen or a Possum Festival or a Possum Parade or a Possum anything.
You haven't taken care of those details? All right. Don't get hysterical. I'll pull this out of the fire for you. When I get through at the radio station, I'll pick out the spot for the celebration. Let's see. Seal Beach, Costa Mesa, Dana Point, San Clemente. Oh, I'm going to make one of these little communities world famous as the home of the International Possum Festival. Oh, I'll need to borrow your car.
What for? Just fly out the window.
Ellie, you don't give these out to nobody under voting age, do you?
No, ma'am, Granny.
Good. First batch went over pretty well, did it?
Well, it kind of depended on who come to the door. If it was a man, we generally hit it off just dandy. Some of them didn't want me to leave.
Real interesting, was they?
Yes, ma'am. A couple of them said, come over later and have supper with me.
Well, if I can find the time, I'll go.
Granny, how's this for a mean mouth and sign?
Well, that's the right idea, but it could be a mite stronger.
Oh, look at this side.
Better.
Ready? Mr. Drysdale said there's a radio program coming on that he wants us to hear. Right here's where it's coming on.
This is KBH, the voice of Beverly Hills. The following is a paid political announcement by the Margaret Drysdale for Possum Queen Committee. Mrs. Drysdale, how do you think the campaign is going?
Granny is running behind.
Think she has a chance to beat you?
Beat me? How utterly absurd.
How do you feel about your opponent personally?
That little woman is a disgrace to Beverly Hills. She and her entire family should be run out of town.
My doggies, that's hitting low.
I'm sure those words are spoken only in the heat of a political battle. When the election is over, you'll probably be good friends.
What a revolting idea.
Well, thank you, Mrs. Drysdale.
Why doesn't that stupid woman give up?
Thank you, Mrs. Drysdale.
What a disgusting exhibition.
Thank you, Mrs. Drysdale. We now return you to our regularly scheduled program.
Now, Granny, don't cut loose in front of the young'uns. Go in the pantry first and let off some steam. Uh-oh, fetch your back, Jethro. I'm sorry, Granny, but there's a limit, even in politics.
Are you sure my husband said he wanted to go for another drive?
Yes, madam. We're to pick him up in town.
Well, I'm glad he's finally realized what a great social asset I am to him.
Yes, madam.
Come on, Ellie, come on.
Just wanted to make sure I had all the vote getters.
All right, get up here in the back, honey, so you can hand them out.
Yes, Granny. Duke! Go around the neighborhood now and give everybody a look.
Ready when you are, Mr. Campaign Manager.
Right to the middle of town, boy. While Duke is getting the neighborhood to vote, we'll go after the man in the street.
Yes, sir.
Put the needle on, Granny. Let her roll, boy. Here she is, folks, the next Possum Queen of Beverly Hills. Now remember to vote for Granny.
You call that campaigning? Give me that thing. Margaret Drysdale ain't nothing but a snooty old bag of wind. Anybody that'd vote for her would suck eggs.
What's the latest? Has Mr. Drysdale found a spot for the Possum Festival?
Not yet. So far, he's bombed all the way down the coast. Last report has him headed for San Juan Capistrano. Mr. Drysdale's office. Chief, where are you? San Diego? Well, what happened in San Juan? Oh, really? Well, they do have a point. It just doesn't sound as romantic. When the Possums return to Capistrano. Chief, why don't you give up and come back? Tell the Clamp it's the truth and admit... All right. You're the boss. He's confident he can sell the Possum Festival to the next town.
If he doesn't, he'll just about have to come back. He's almost to the border.
Mr. Mayor, members of the City Council, amigos. I propose to make your little village famous as the home of the International Possum Festival. We're going to have a big celebration. Parade, a Possum Queen. How does that sound? Oh, I see you're very interested in that beautiful red convertible. Well, I'll tell you what. If you'll have the Possum Festival here, you can drive that car in the parade. That car, you drive?
Ah, el americano dice que podemos manejar su coche. Vente, súbete.
What'd he say? Now, wait a minute! Not now! I'm at the Possum Festival!
Perkins, this is getting ridiculous. We've covered every foot of Beverly Hills 3 times.
I'm sorry, madam, but I just can't remember the corner where Mr. Drysdale said he would meet us.
He's probably back at the bank by now. Take me there immediately. People are beginning to stare and point and even laugh.
Miss Hathaway.
I'm sorry, Janet, there is no further news. Ever since the chief crossed the border, a curtain of silence has descended.
Well, there's plenty of noise around here. The Clampetts are circling the block in Granny's campaign truck. They're announcing a big political rally in the bank parking lot.
Oh, dear. Well, let's get down there and see what we can do.
Now gather around, folks. Granny's going to discuss the issues of this campaign.
You're going to hear some real name calling and mud slinging.
Granny. Now, after the speech making, for them voters that's still undecided, my daughter is going to pass among you with some friendly persuaders. Now, we're going to start off the rally by singing Granny's campaign song. Put the needle on. Here's your choice for Possum Queen, Granny, Granny.
She don't ride no limousine.
Granny all the way. Vote her into
Hey, lady, what's this all about?
Probably one of those hidden camera shows.
And now, folks, here she is, the next Possum Queen of Beverly Hills, Granny!
Fellow citizens, I'm gonna tell you about the woman that's running against me in this election. She has the brain of a chicken, the disposition of an alligator, and the figure of an overstuffed silo.
Folks, what the candidate is hinting at, well, as you know, the Queen gets her weight in possums. Well, Granny here don't weigh 7 stone sopping wet. But in order to balance off Ms. Drysdale, it's gonna take 30 or 40 good-sized possums. And where is them extra possums coming from? From your own backyard.
Yonder she comes! Maggie, Maggie!
What is this outrageous spectacle?
Look what she's got writ on her car. The next Possum Queen.
Oh! Oh, no!
Look at her run. She knows when she's whipped.
Morning, Miss Hathaway.
Good morning, Joe. Oh, dear, still not back.
Morning, Miss Hathaway.
How
Happy Possum Day.
It's not funny, Miss Treagle. I was just about to call the Missing Persons Bureau.
You mean Mr. Drysdale is still...
Not a trace. I didn't sleep a wink last night.
Neither did I.
Chief!
What happened? Where have you been?
Riding a burro across Mexico.
Well, what about my car?
Just a little misunderstanding. I got it back this morning. But there isn't going to be any Possum Festival. I was even turned down by Death Valley. Oh, I should have listened to you, Miss Hathaway. I never should have lied to the Clampets. It was just my foolish pride.
No. We'll take you home so you can get some rest.
No. First, I must face the Clampets and tell them the truth. Confess everything.
Yes, Chief.
I'm through with dishonesty and deceit.
Yes, Chief.
Oh, what a bitter lesson I've learned.
Granny, where are you?
In here, Jed.
Granny, we gotta get out and vote. If it's like back home, the polls close at 10 and Why ain't you in your candidate outfit?
'Cause I ain't a candidate, Jed. I'm withdrawing in favor of Miss Drysdale.
You're what?
I never knowed how much being Possum Queen meant to that woman.
What you mean?
Well, after I bested her at the rally, she went home, took to her bed, and she's been there ever since.
It did seem to break her spirit.
I don't want victory at that price. Let her ride in the parade this afternoon. Let her get the cheers and the glory. It's her hometown.
Granny, you're a little woman, but you got a mighty big heart.
Pa, Mr. Drysdale wants to see you.
Hello, my friend.
What in tarnation happened to you?
Ellie, fetch my jug. This poor man looks like he's been drugged through an asshole.
Speak up, Chief. Tell them.
Can I wait for the jug? All right. Mr. Clampett, Granny, I have something terrible to tell you.
Oh, we heard about your wife, and you can stop worrying. Granny's pulling out of the race.
What?
We ain't even going into town to watch the parade.
But that's what Mr. Drysdale has come to tell you.
Yes, you see, You're positive you're not going into town?
Positive. I don't want to take none of the glory away from Miss Drysdale.
Oh, that's a wonderful gesture, Granny. Of course, it's too bad you're going to miss that fabulous parade. It's going to be the greatest in the history of Possum Day. Marching band, floats, giant balloons, mounted riders, clowns, jugglers, airplanes, tanks, and elephants.
Sorry I couldn't find it right off.
Don't need it now, Ellie. Granny's news picked that poor man right up off the floor.
He'll do the same thing for his wife, too. There's no greater honor than being Possum Queen.
Yeah, Granny, there's always next year.
Yeah, I know. But to help me through this year, don't you think I deserve a little,
All right, Granny, quick as the polls close.
Happy Possum Day!
Happy
Possum Day!